Please check your answers to these first 3 problems on the back. Your inequality answers and your graphs need to both match. So for the first one, x is less than negative 10. Your graph should have 0 and negative 10 on it, an empty circle at negative 10, and you should shade to the left. For the middle one, you should end up with b is less than negative 10, and your graph should look just like your one to the left. Your scale on these graphs does not matter as long as negative 10 is to the left of 0. For the third one, you should end up with n is less than or equal to 5. You should have a filled in circle at 5 and shade once again to the left. If you got all of these right, feel free to stop the video now and move on to the next 3. If you've gotten any of these wrong, please continue watching this video. If you only got one of them wrong, you can skip ahead and just watch the portion for that one solution. Negative 4 times the quantity, negative 4 plus x, is greater than 56. I can't touch this quantity, negative 4 plus x, until that negative 4 on the outside is gone, because I'm multiplying the whole left-hand side by negative 4. To isolate the negative 4, or to isolate the negative 4 plus x, rather, I'll divide both sides by negative 4. When I do this, on the left-hand side, these two cancel out, and I end up with negative 4 plus x. On the right-hand side, 56 divided by 4 is 14, but it was a positive divided by a negative, so I get negative 14. Since I divided by a negative, I need to remember to flip the direction of my sign. So it was greater than, now it's going to be less than. To finish solving, I want x by itself. I need to get rid of this minus 4, so I'll add 4 to both sides. When I do this on the left-hand side, I get x is less than negative 14 plus 4 is negative 10. So x is less than negative 10. I've already got a number line drawn for me, but I need to include my critical value and 0. So again, since those are the only values I care about, it doesn't really matter where I put them as long as 0 is to the right of negative 10. So I've plotted, or I've labeled my 2 points that I care about. You know that x is just less than negative 10, not less than or equal to. So negative 10 gets an open circle. And I want the values where x is smaller than negative 10, and my smaller values are to the left. Let's take a look at the next problem. Negative b minus 2 is greater than 8. I need to get negative b by itself before I can handle it, so I'm going to start by adding 2 to both sides. So plus 2, plus 2. When I do this, all that remains on the left is negative b. I added 2. I don't need to worry about changing the direction of my sign, so I get negative b is greater than, or it's greater than 10, not greater than or equal to. To finish solving, I need to multiply or divide by negative 1 because I've got negative b and I want positive b. So let's think of it as dividing by negative 1. That changes my negative sign on both, on the left-hand side to a positive sign, and on the right-hand side I get a negative sign. So it just switches the signs of both my values. Because I divided by a negative, I flip the direction of my sign. So instead of negative b is greater than 10, I end up with b is less than negative 10. All right, which coincidentally is just like what I got for my last problem. So I'll label my number line, and I know that my graph should look pretty much the same as what I did before. If you notice, my particular graph has a slightly different scale than the pink one, but that doesn't change my answer. All right. Very last problem. Once again, I can't touch this 3 plus n until that negative 4 goes away. So I'll start by dividing both sides by negative 4. When I do this on the left, these negative 4's cancel out, but I still have 3 plus n. On the right, negative 32 divided by negative 4, that's a positive 8. My sign needs to flip because I divided by a negative. So it was greater than or equal to, it becomes less than or equal to. Once it looks like this, I know that 3 plus n, in order to isolate n, I have to subtract 3. So I'll subtract 3 from both sides of my inequality. That leaves me with n on the left is less than or equal to 5. I need to make sure to label 0 and 5 on my number line. Since it's less than or equal to, I get a solid circle at 5. And I want the values where n is smaller than 5, so I'll shade to the left. Try these next 3 problems on your own. On some of them, you'll have to combine like terms. Just remember that you do it just like solving an equation, except if you multiply or divide by a negative, simply flip the direction of your sign.